In professional wrestling, most performers adopt stage names or titles that are nothing like their real names. Hulk Hogan is really named Terry Bollea. Triple H is not actually Hunter Hearst Helmsley, but actually Paul Levesque. But you know, in the NFL, it's a whole different ballgame.
Prescott in 3rd and long. Eston has some time and delivers a good ball. CeeDee Lamb sliding down in midfield.
These players were born with epic names that almost sound too good to be true. But believe us, it's the real deal.
It's caught here. Powers on the fly. Chased by Witherspoon.
So with that said, let's dive into the best player name on every NFL team right now. Arizona Cardinals, Budda Baker. Man, just gotta love the alliteration in this one. Baker's birth name is actually Bashard, but his mother decided to call him Buddha because she thought he looked like a little Buddha doll. When you have a name as slick as this, the pressure is on to be a darn good football player. And the longtime Cardinal has been just that, with 7 career Pro Bowl nods and a pair of first-team All-Pro selections over his first 8 NFL seasons.
Quick pass like we saw a lot of last week. Cooper Kupp trying to navigate to the line to gain. He reached.
Baltimore Ravens, Justice Hill. Malachi Starks and Isaiah Likely also deserve shoutouts here, but when your first name is Justice, well, you're gonna be number 1 in our books. The coolest part? This is his birth name, not a nickname. And boy, when he's done with football, you can't help but wonder if Hill will enter like a legal career, where he can help serve justice. I mean, come on, could you imagine walking into a courtroom saying, "All rise for Justice, Justice Hill"? Or who knows, maybe he'll work for the Department of Justice. Huh? Atlanta Falcons, Ray McLeod III. The veteran wide receiver was born Raymond McLeod III, and we suppose when you have the same name as your dad and grandfather, why not change it up a bit to prevent confusion? Ray is a sick name off the bat. Throw in the third at the end of McLeod and, ooh, you got a beautiful all-around name from start to finish. He also had a career year in Atlanta last season, so more people are now familiar with the presence of a man in Atlanta with a beautiful name. Buffalo Bills, Osiris Torrance. No word on if the Buffalo Bills offensive lineman was named after Cyrus the Great, who founded the Achaemenid Empire. The nickname Torrance originates from Scotland. Osiris sounds like an Irish surname, but combine the two, and you have the best Buffalo Bills player name of all time. No exaggeration. Carolina Panthers, Chuba Hubbard. Please join us in not disputing this one whatsoever. The Edmonton, Alberta native is already one of the greatest NFL players to come out of Canada. And with a name as stupendous as Chuba Hubbard, well, his name will always stand out in the Great White North. I don't know, Chuba Hubbard just sounds like a great name for like a future Star Wars character. Maybe a character related to Jabba the Hutt or something. Chicago Bears, Luther Burden III. There is something strong and powerful about the name Luthor. I don't know, maybe we're just thinking of Lex Luthor from the DC Comics. But when you have the surname Burden, which is fitting for a wide receiver who, well, puts a burden on opposing wide receivers, and then you throw in the third at the end, well, you got a top 5 name in the NFL right now. Cincinnati Bengals, Demetrius Knight Jr. I don't know, that sort of sounds like the name of an award-winning music artist. It's got a beautiful ring to it, all right. The Bengals drafted Knight 49th overall in 2005.
Select Demetrius Knight Jr., linebacker, South Carolina.
No word yet on if his awesome name had something to do with the selection. But you know, we're jealous of the Bengals stadium announcer who gets to scream, "Demetrius Knight Jr." during the player intros. Seriously, amazing name to call out. Cleveland Browns, Joel Bitonio. The name Bitonio traces back to southern Italy, and the full name just rolls off the tongue very nicely. Joel Bitonio sounds like the name of an enforcer/tough guy in a crime movie. But hey, being a 6'4", 320-pound guard who's made a living out of mauling his opponents in the trenches will do nicely too. Dallas Cowboys, CeeDee Lamb. We always dig it when the 2 syllables in a name rhyme. Worth noting that his actual birth name is Cedarian DeLeon Lamb, but CD sounds even better. And with a last name like Lamb, well, there are just all sorts of puns and jokes to make. If you've ever had him in a fantasy football league, we'd like to think that you use the team name CD Lamb Chops or Silence of the CD Lamb. It also helps that CD Lamb has lived up to his slick name. He's emerged as one of the NFL's best wide receivers since the Cowboys drafted him, with 3 straight seasons of over 100 catches and 1,100 yards.
Prescott in 3rd and long. Eston has some time and delivers a good ball. CeeDee Lamb Sliding down in midfield.
Denver Broncos, Bo Nix. Let's be clear, two-letter first names rule. Bo, Al, Ty, Mo, Lou, you get the idea. Bo Nix is just an awesome name to blurt out. 2 total syllables, only 5 letters. It is the perfect name for a calm and poised young quarterback like Nix, who just led the Broncos to the playoffs in his rookie season.
All-Pro, Pro Bowler, was a return man last year. Big play out of the backfield. It's the fullback, Atkins.
Plus, whenever the Broncos win, Bo can say that he nixed the opposing team's chances of winning. Detroit Lions, Amon-Ra St. Brown. If there's an award for best combination of names by parents who had 3 sons, well, it'd go to the St. Brown family. Amon-Ra's father, John Brown, has a love for Egyptian mythology, so he named the future Lion star after the Egyptian god of the sun. His older brother, Equinemius, was named after the character in a book written by one of John's friends. And the youngest son, Osiris, is named after the Egyptian god of the underworld. Also worth noting that Equinemius' nickname is Tristan Imhotep. Fans of the Brendan Fraser Mummy movies will recall the name of the main antagonist, Imhotep, and the Book of Amon-Ra. But Imhotep was a very famous high priest in ancient Egypt. Okay, now that your history lesson is over, allow us to conclude this entry with the bottom line. Amon-Ra St. Brown is the best name in the NFL, period. Green Bay Packers, Romeo Doubs. The Packers left us with some tough choices. Luke Musgrave, Malik Willis, and Dontavian Wicks also deserve a mention. But man, Romeo Doubs just freaking rules. We wonder if NFL announcers secretly wish Jordan Love would target him more often so they could simply blurt out Romeo Doubs. Houston Texans, Tank Dell. Houston's star wide receiver was born Nathaniel Jasper Dell. So why on earth is his nickname Tank? Well, the background is actually pretty adorable. According to Dell, his mom came up with the nickname Tank when he was young because of how giant his head was compared to the rest of his body. But man, the name Tank is natural for a football player, especially a skill position guy who has to run through tacklers. Dell has mastered that art, even though he's not actually built like a tank at 5'10" and 165 pounds. Indianapolis Colts, DeForest Buckner. Built like a forest is not an actual phrase. However, forests do take up a lot of area, so DeForest Buckner is a fitting first name for one of the league's biggest players at 6'7" and 295 pounds. And then man, Buckner is a tough and menacing sounding surname. Again, perfect for a superstar pass rusher of his size and skills. I mean, can't you just imagine like a future James Bond movie where the villain screams, "Hey Buckner, go take care of Mr. Bond"? Jacksonville Jaguars, Ezra Cleveland. We don't have scientific evidence and data to back it up, but it is practically impossible to hate on a surname that shares a title with a major city. Nobody hates NFL players named like David Boston, DJ Dallas, or Justin Houston. The Jaguars veteran guard signed a contract extension in 2024. Good for Trevor Lawrence, but bad for those of us who want him to join the Cleveland Browns so we can say Cleveland on Cleveland. Kansas City Chiefs, Juju Smith-Schuster. Xavier Worthy and Osai Pacheco also got consideration here. They're bigger household names at this phase than Smith-Schuster, but there's a case to be made that the veteran receiver has the best name in the game right now. Don't question us on this one. I mean, come on, just utter his full name on repeat and then try telling us it doesn't deserve the nod here. Las Vegas Raiders, Brock Bowers. Yep, the alliteration wins points here. But it's also a fitting name for a player who has quickly emerged as one of the NFL's best tight ends.
It's caught here. Powers on the fly. Chased by Witherspoon.
Brock is a natural name for a star athlete. Bowers flat out rules as a surname. Put the two together and combine them with his historic rookie season, and yeah, you have the ideal name for the 6'3", 235-pound tight end.
Now throwing deep to Bowers at the 5. And Bowers still going. Brock Bowers.
Los Angeles Chargers, Ladd McConkey. Funny enough, his first name is actually Andrew, and there is a former NHL star named Andrew Ladd, the former Winnipeg Jets captain who won Stanley Cup rings with the Carolina Hurricanes and Chicago Blackhawks. Anyway, Ladd McConkey is already the best name in Chargers history. We love a unique name like Ladd, especially when it matches a word that is used to address a friend or companion. McConkey, well, let's just say any Trailer Park Boys fans will dig his name. Los Angeles Rams, Puka Nacua. Nakua's birth name is Makia, but he was actually given the nickname Puka shortly after birth. In a 2019 interview, long before he emerged as one of the NFL's top wideouts, Nakua revealed that Puka means fat and chubby in Samoan. That was used to describe him as a baby, but Nakua said it just sort of stuck with him even when he was athletic and lean. Miami Dolphins Storm Duck. As an undrafted free agent out of Louisville, Duck might not have a lengthy nor impressive NFL career, but please join us in celebrating his awesome name. This is no nickname either. Duck is the real family surname. Storm was issued this very name at birth, named after the Storm Logan character from The Bold and the Beautiful. Minnesota Vikings, C.J. Ham. There aren't many traditional fullbacks left in the NFL, so Ham has stood out to Vikings fans for a while now. Well, and the fact that his full name kinda kicks ass. Not a lot of people with a surname after a type of meat. You probably don't know anyone named Chicken, Beef, or Pork. Well, I guess we have Kevin Bacon. But still, CJ Ham is the best name around for someone with a meat-related last name. New England Patriots, Jabril Peppers. Alright, anyone with the last name Peppers wins the entry by default. Thankfully, Jabril Peppers is here to honor the slick surname all these years after Julius Peppers' retirement. Jabril has quietly morphed into one of the NFL's better all-around safeties on a lousy Patriots team. Next time he makes a big play, feel free to remind someone near you that the Peppers are cooking. New Orleans Saints, Kool-Aid McKinstry. McKinstry's birth name is Gaquincy. Apparently, he smiled so much as a baby, though, that it reminded his grandmother of the Kool-Aid Man. Thus, the nickname was born and has stuck with him ever since. Honestly, we don't really care how the rest of his career plays out. His legacy is set, being on the Mount Rushmore of NFL player names in the 2020s decade. New York Giants, Lil Jordan Humphrey. We almost went with Jackson Dart here. I mean, hell, that is the perfect name for an NFL quarterback. We cannot wait for Dart to eventually take over as the Giants' starting QB, where calls such as a dart by dart await the ecstatic announcers. But for now, Lil Jordan Humphrey takes the cake, because there are a few things in life as cool as being named Lil Jordan. And yes, that is his birth name. New York Jets, Sauce Gardner. His birth name is Ahmad, but Gardner decided to go with Sauce Gardner for life after receiving the nickname from one of his youth football coaches. In fact, the full nickname was initially A1 Sauce Sweet Feet. He shortened it to Sauce and hasn't looked back. Fittingly, it was revealed in 2025 that he was dating rapper Ice Spice. A spicy sauce relationship? Yeah, it's just the perfect match as far as names go. Philadelphia Eagles, Saquon Barkley. The best player on the Eagles also has the best name on the team. Go figure. Barkley is a fitting name for a superstar running back like Saquon because, well, you have to have Bark to be a star in this league. And his full name is similar to Avon Barksdale, one of the main characters from The Wire TV show. Pittsburgh Steelers, Isaiah Loudermilk. Well, if the veteran Steelers backup defensive lineman retires early, his surname will hopefully help land him a career in singing, or farming, or milk delivery, or heck, all of the above. Louder milk? I mean, I guess cows can make a whole lot of noise before and after producing milk. San Francisco 49ers, Yetur Gross-Matos. Kyle Juszczyk, Upton Stout, and Diomedor Lenore also deserve shoutouts while we're on the 49ers entry. But man, how do you beat Yetur Gross-Matos? Injuries have hampered the former Carolina Panthers 2020 second-round pick for much of his career, but it's certainly not too late to rewrite his story entering his age 29 season. And hey, even if he never fully lives up to his ceiling, well, he'll go down with the best name of the 2020 NFL draft class. Seattle Seahawks, Kobe Bryant. When you share the same name as one of the greatest American athletes ever, well, you're on this list by default. Yeah, the Seahawks star was named after the Los Angeles Lakers icon. The parents just decided to change the spelling. Bryant also wears number 8 to honor the late NBA legend. So, hey, perfect, and we are all here for it. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Yaya Diaby. We are so close to going with Vita Vea here, but Yaya is just too great of a name to keep off this list. Diaby's parents are from Guinea, and they decided to name him after his maternal uncle, Yaya. And it's just the perfect name for a professional athlete. I mean, make a nice play and scream, "Yeah, yeah!" Or, I don't know, go Austin Powers mode and go, "Yeah, baby, yeah." Tennessee Titans, Julius Chestnut. Julius Caesar made the first name awesome during his reign as the dictator of Rome. In fact, of all the dictators that have ever existed, Julius is probably the only one that is still acceptable to name your child after. But as iconic as the name Julius Caesar is, it's not quite as cool as Julius Chestnut. The Titans have primarily used Chestnut as a special teams returner with the occasional carries in the backfield. As long as he's on the roster, nobody is competing with the slickness of his name. Washington Commanders, Daron Payne. Payne is the perfect surname for a football player whose job is to deliver, the pain on opposing quarterbacks. It's like a banker named Cash or a hockey player named Puck. Washington's 2018 first-round pick has grown into one of the game's best defensive tackles. And at only 28 years old, he has got plenty of more pain to bring to his opponents. But hey, who do you think has the best name in the NFL right now? Let us know in the comment section below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, then clicking the like button helps us out a ton. And you know, we really appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, then subscribing is a great idea, because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.